What's going on, guys? Hilltown here. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday, whatever day it is when you're watching this. Today we're going to do a quick video on lug nuts on these cars that have these decorative caps like this Jeep does here. What ends up happening is, particularly if you live in the Rust Belt, these lug nuts with the caps, they end up, getting corrosion between the cap and the lug nut itself, as you can see on this one here. And what happens is that rust expands the cap, and the cap ends up falling off or ends up stripping out on the lug nut. They're a real pain in the neck. This wheel here, you can see I'm only missing one cap, but I've got some others I'm missing 4 out of 5. So I decided to swap these out today, but I figured I'd turn the camera on. I've seen a lot of different videos how people try to get these off once they strip on. They take a chisel and they pound them off. Or they take a socket that's too small, stick it over the lug nut, drive it on there, end up forcing it off that way. Before I get to that point, I just want to swap them out. So I bought a set of solid lug nuts. Like you see here, these aren't caps. And I'm going to replace all of them today before it's an issue. One other thing I've noticed happens sometimes is these things will swell up, they'll deform. You go to take them off with the appropriate socket and you actually can't get the socket on, and that's what's happening with this one here. All right, little audio problem here, so I'm going to voice this over. So what I do is I take a socket and I just tap it on the lug nut, get it on there good and secure. Then I'll go ahead and I'll take my impact and I'll back this thing off. I'm not going to take it all the way off, however, because I want to be able to get some leverage to get this socket off. So I'm just going to give it a little convincing with the hammer. There we go. So you can see how this one's kind of bunged up. So this wheel here, 4 of these lug nut caps ended up working their way off at one time or another. I'm down to 1 left on this wheel. Now there's nothing wrong with these. I could keep running these. 18 millimeter fits them. They're not all rounded off. But, they're kind of unsightly as hell. This is a 19 mil. These are 18 mils. I got to make sure I carry both sockets with me at all times. So I'm just going to swap them out, save myself the frustration down the road. So, I scratch my head and wonder, why do they produce a lug nut like this that's prone to failure when they could put one on that would, more than last the serviceable life of the vehicle? Well, as anything else with business, right, I'm sure it comes down to money. They can produce this one cheaper than this one, and if you multiply those savings and that train of thought towards every component on this vehicle, it turns into thousands of dollars. So anyway, that's my rant. I'm going to go ahead and swap these out. We'll see what this looks like with them replaced. All right, we're all done. I think it looks a little bit better, and they all match. I can take them off with one socket. So appreciate you guys watching. We will see you on the next video.